Hey, good morning. Welcome to Hobby Evolution, episode 1459. Okay, we've got audio. Good morning. Good morning. My microphone was unplugged yesterday. I'm surprised nobody commented. The sound, it was off yesterday. I cannot find my my multi USB. I've got 3 USB ports in this desktop computer that I use. I'm using one for the microphone. I'm using one for the keyboard. I'm using one for the mouse. I'm using one for the photo box. So that's 4, and I've only got 3 spots. I had a free one open, but I kept commenting I need to get a new mouse. Well, I had an old mouse because this computer came with a mouse. So the mouse I was using, I just put in a drawer. So unfortunately, the mouse that came with the computer is on the same USB plug that the keyboard is in. So it wasn't like I could just unplug that and flip-flop. So now the mouse and keyboard are using 2 separate USB ports. So I'm flipping back and forth. I do have like one of those multi where you can plug one in. It's what do you call those? The plug-in things, whatever they are. There's a name for it. Somebody's gonna comment. So I have one of those for USBs, but I can't find it, and it's somewhere. So I may instead of just looking for it. A hub. Thank you. A hub. What do you call with the plugins? What do you call those things? Not a splitter, not a docking station. What, like various plugins? One of these things. What do you call this thing? That was the word I was looking for. Whatever that thing is. So I've got that going on. Surge protector. Yeah. So I guess that's not the word I was. Power strip. That's the word I was looking for. Thank you, Dan. That's the word I was looking for. Power strip. But I guess it would be a USB strip, but that's what I'm looking for. A USB hub. Yeah. I guess that's what it would be. A USB hub. I was thinking power strip, but that wouldn't make sense for USB ports. So there we go. We solved that problem. Now I just have to solve the problem of actually finding my USB hub. So what's going on? Good morning. Happy Wednesday. Happy hump day. Happy trash day. I still got to get the trash to the curb. A splitter and a hub are not the same thing. A splitter splits. So a hub doesn't split because a hub is not splitting any of the USB. It's a hub for all of them. A splitter is completely different. Splitter splits. Splitters split. Hubs hub. Happy Wednesday. Hey, we did a 2 for Tuesday yesterday on eBay Live. I've learned a lot in just 4 eBay live streams. And I'll only continue to learn more. So yesterday we did a daytime stream, and I was a little not hesitant, but it's like it's 10:30 in the morning. Who's gonna be buying cards at 10:30 in the morning? Well, just in watching other eBay live streams, there's quite a few people that buy cards in the morning. But I don't have that audience that some of these other sellers, have built up over the last year and a half, 2 years. So, I've been doing it for less than a week. So I didn't put the greatest items up during my daytime stream. And I probably, it's not like you're going to find the best. The best of the best will come like during the marketed live streams, which are yet to come. And I believe eBay's first marketing push is going to be this Sunday, Single Sunday. So there's going to be a live stream. I'll have a live stream on Sunday night. That's where you'll see some slabs for the first time, and you'll see some good stuff on my live stream Sunday night. So for yesterday's sale, I had just some random stuff. We did baseball. I honestly can't remember. I had so much going on yesterday and last night that I don't even remember yesterday morning. But I do remember I was pretty happy with the results. There was a card that went unsold in Thursday night stream, and last Thursday was I also put a lot more effort into promoting last Thursday's stream as opposed to yesterday's stream and Sunday's stream. And that's been my biggest audience to date, was my first stream last Thursday. There was a card that went unsold in that auction on Thursday. I reran all of the unsolds from last Thursday in yesterday morning's auction, and a lot of them sold. One of the unsold sold for $8 when I reran it yesterday morning. So was very happy with that. So a lot of the unsold cards from last Thursday did sell on the rerun yesterday morning. I was happy. I was really happy with yesterday's results. I'll continue to do daytime streams. Depending on how today goes, I've got even more things going on today, mainly shipping, but also we've got some Madison. I've got double dipping on Madison Card Show. I did get follow-up yesterday. Nothing is signed yet, but I'll have some news. Hopefully I'll get things inked out today, and I can get an announcement out either tonight or tomorrow regarding the Madison Card Show. So exciting stuff coming there. We've got 2 days of the Madison Card Show this weekend. So I've got to get table layouts. Table layouts are pretty much finished for Saturday. It's Sunday's Pokemon Show I'm still working on. We've got Saturday, we've got 3 rooms. We've got the upstairs is like it always has been, the Capitol Square Ballroom and the mezzanine. Downstairs, we've got a change for Saturday, State Street Ballroom, which is the ballroom we've used in the past that is right up against the parking lot around back. It's actually my favorite of the 3 rooms as far as aesthetically. It's the nicest, and it has the best location, in my opinion. So that room will be open, and then the Badger Stateroom will be open. The Badger Stateroom will be open, and that is the room we used for TCG last summer. So that's the bring your own table room. I just want to re-emphasize this. I didn't think it was needed, but I've had a lot of inquiries because I put a post, bring your own table, vendors, vendor availability, bring your own table. That means for new vendors, if you're locked into the show, you don't need to bring in a table. That only applies to dealers that don't have a table, and they have space if they bring their own. So that's what that post was all about. So that's this Saturday, and I think I've got to go back. There might be space for a couple more bring your own table spots in the Badger Stateroom. So that's Saturday. So we'll have 160 tables on Saturday at the Madison Card Show, and that's sports and TCG. Sunday is the Madison Pokemon Show, first ever Madison Pokemon Show. It's only TCG, so that covers Pokemon, Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh, and whatever else is in that TCG space. But I'm assuming it's going to be 90 to 95% Pokemon on Sunday. 140 dealer tables upstairs. Same. The Sunday Pokemon Show has the exact same layout as what a regular Madison Card Show looks like. The Williamson Ballroom on the first floor and the upstairs Capitol Square Ballroom and mezzanine. So 140 dealer tables on Sunday, 300 tables between the 2 days. Madison Card Show weekend this Saturday and Sunday at the Sheraton Hotel on John Nolen Drive. While we're on the Madison Card Show, Dan says, have you set dates for June and July? Not yet, but I will have an announcement coming up this week. So no dates have been set yet. Cooter can't wait for the Monday Beanie Baby show announcement. Beanie Babies. Yeah, it's when you run an event, and I'm sure anybody who runs any type of event like this receives inquiries about, can I sell this? Can I sell Girl Scout cookies is a big thing every year. I have people reach out. Hey, can we sell? No, you can't sell Girl Scout cookies. I had somebody reach out. They sell, was it beef jerky, something? And I'm like, no, you can't. It's a card show. It's not a flea market. We sell cards and sports memorabilia. You can sell sports memorabilia, and you can sell sports cards, non-sports cards, TCG, all of that good stuff. So that's the Madison Card Show talk. What else is going on? Yesterday was crazy. I'm also working. A good friend of mine is starting a new venture, and it's what's really cool is he's highly successful in his daytime job, and he loves the hobby. And he's creating a business that is going to be really awesome, and I'm going to be a part of it. So I'll be talking about that. We were going over some things yesterday, so that's something in the works. You'll hear more about that in the near future. So I was working on that yesterday. We had 2 eBay live sales yesterday and last night. Madison Card Show, shipping, and all that good stuff. So a lot of shipping. My eBay sales are still going in the right direction. Had a rough week. Was it 2 weeks ago? Just a really rough week. But remember, I was sometimes we have to sacrifice. There's an opportunity cost when you start something new like eBay Live. And the opportunity cost for me was my sales suffered for a week because I wasn't putting anything into my eBay store. So it was basically, the random stuff was selling. And when that happens, you have to roll with it. Sometimes you can be listing new items and you're still not getting sales, and you just have to, that's sales. No matter what you're selling encyclopedias or vacuum cleaners or baseball cards on eBay. You've got to ride the wave. And I knew that my poor week of sales was directly attributed to my focus on curating lots for eBay Live. The funny thing is I curated a bunch of lots. I have a couple 4-row boxes that's been curated for eBay Live. I think I've only used one of the team bags. They're all in team bags by like 50 counts. And I've only used, I think, one, maybe two. So I've still got a ton of inventory for the next couple sales, for the next several sales, in fact. Where was I at? Now I completely lost my train of thought. So my sales took a hit because I was getting things curated. Okay, this is going to eBay Live. This is going to eBay Live. Okay, this is going to be part of a autograph lot. This is a jersey lot. This is blah, 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 blah. So my sales took a hit. Remember, I want to grow my eBay sales 40% year over year. And it was looking dicey. And then I got an email. Hey, do you want to be on eBay Live? Yes. I've been waiting for this. So I was a little concerned. Like, I needed, based on my business, to grow 40% year over year, I would have to do something almost drastically different to my business, because doing the same old stuff and listing thousands and thousands of $1.75 cards is not going to grow my business 40%. I needed to do something different. I needed to scale up. How am I going to scale up? Sell things instantly on eBay Live. And that will grow my business. And I expect to not only exceed 40% year over year this year, I expect to blow that out of the water as I continue to grow on eBay Live. Right now, it doesn't look good if you're looking in a vacuum and you're isolating the numbers. Right now, year to date, I'm only up 17%. Let's go back a day and let's take out today, 1/01/2025. Yesterday was the 22nd. We got the wrong dates. 2025, and we want to go 04/22, and we're going to compare this to last year. So including today, I'm 17%, so 18%. So I'm up 18% year over year. A lot of that is attributed to auctions, and here recently, a nice little uptick from eBay Live. So my quantity sold, I'm a little up, just over 1%, about 1.5% on quantity sold over last year, same period. My average sales price per item is up almost 20%. That's something I need to be up in to grow 40%. I need not only more quantity sold, but I need the average sales price to go up also, because just increasing my quantity sold is not going to get it done if I don't increase the average sales price. So my sales by fixed price actually down this year compared to last year, but that's because I'm focusing a lot more on auctions. And I expect probably a plateau. I don't know how much growth I'll see on fixed price because I'm really putting a focus on live selling right now, and probably will. I think it's going to be, I think by May, the end of May, I think the month of May, auctions will outpace fixed price. Let's see. Let's see what, let's do this month, and let's generate the report and see where we're at. I mean, shit. It's pretty close. I mean, it's not too far off. We've got a week left in April. Depending on how many live sales I do, I'll probably do more sales via auction in the month of April than I will by fixed price, because I can make so much more, so much faster on eBay Live. So 40% is the goal, and I think that's going to be, I think I'm going to crush those numbers. What else did I want to share? Oh, my followers. And another thing on eBay Live is the more eBay Lives I get, the more I'm on that eBay Live page, like, hey, here's next up or live now, my eBay followers. And the day that I started on eBay Live, I had 4,831 eBay followers. I'm at 4,800, I think 78. So I've gained almost 50 followers in less than a week. And you're like, well, 50 followers, that's not much. But think about it, 4,800, almost 4,900. And I've had this account for 10 years. So it's not easy to get followers on eBay. So 50 followers added in less than a week's time is pretty awesome. And as eBay puts more money into marketing on both eBay Live and in the trading card single space, I expect that number to keep growing. And I think that they're putting some marketing into Sunday singles. So you may be getting some information on Sunday singles. I've got to create, as soon as I get done here, I'm going to create the event for Sunday night. I've kind of batted around the idea of 10 seconds, especially last night. And I want to talk about the constant struggle of pricing strategy. I'm going to write this down so I don't forget, because I've got a lot of things as I do these streams. I've got a lot of things swimming in my head in regards to pricing. So 10-second auctions, because what I'm learning. There we go. So we're going to talk about last night's stream. And what I learned a lot about, I learned a lot last night. And here's the thing. I'm going to get this thought out. We'll go to the chat and then we'll talk pricing strategy. The thing about last night was, as I'm listing some of these cards, and a lot of them were not selling, and ended up out of 200 auctions, I think 67 didn't sell. And I'm like, as I'm going through and it's not selling, and LaMelo Ball's not selling, and Victor Wembanyama's selling for 99 cents, and Cade Cunningham's not selling, and we had an Omari Spellman rookie prism out of $299, didn't sell for 99 cents. And I'm like, God dang, this isn't good. When I went back at the end of the auction and counted everything up, I crushed what my expectations were. I crushed my expectations because there were a lot of items. Well, a lot of items didn't sell. There were cards that sold for significantly more than what I thought they would sell for. So So that's what I learned. I also learned that modern basketball. My buddy Shane messaged me, or we've talked. I think he came over several months ago, and we were talking about this. I think he mentioned it in a chat where basketball, it's like 50 players out of all of the NBA players in the history of the NBA sell. And that is a fact. Man, in modern does not sell. Serial number does not sell. At least it didn't last night. But Michael Jordan sold, and Kobe sold, and Shaq sold, and Larry Bird. So here we go. So with basketball, I'm going to stick to the classics at this point in time. And, maybe as I grow an audience and get a bigger audience, maybe some of that stuff will sell for $1. And that's all I care to sell it for. I'm not looking to get $3-4 for a LaMelo Ball rookie. If I could sell it for 99 cents, I'm happy. We did lot it up at the end. And it did sell for, I think $40 is what it sold for. Maybe more than, I can't remember, but I think it sold for 40 some bucks, which is, more than 50 cents a card. So I'm happy with that. Let's go to the chat. So, by the way, you're going to hear a lot about eBay Live over the coming weeks because this is my thing. This is what I'm focused on right now. I'm putting a lot of energy into this. I'm learning, so I'm just sharing what I'm learning about the platform. I had a great comment. I'm going to get to the chat here in a second. I had a great comment from a first time, and he actually messaged me after the show last night. He was bidding on a Michael Jordan phone card, and he saw it because they don't come up too often, and he saw it was part of an eBay Live event. He had never been on eBay Live before. It was his first time, and the only reason he's like, it's not for me, but I wanted that phone card, and so he sent me a message with some great feedback that I'm going to pass along. I've got a right on my computer here. I've got a notepad started of suggestions, and so if you have any suggestions from a buying standpoint, because his was strictly from a buying standpoint, and it makes perfect sense. His point was, I'm announcing like, okay, we're on auction number 21 out of 200 tonight. He didn't reveal what he was looking for, which I understand because he didn't want other people to know what he was bidding on. I think his eBay name was like collector phone card. So I should have just said, yeah, your phone card's coming up on auction 184 or something like that. It was pretty clear because I had one phone card and that was in his username. But if without giving it away, if buyers knew, okay, this 84 Donruss Don Mattingly is going to be auction number 100. Okay, he's at auction number 17. We're still, probably a half an hour away. I don't have to watch or listen to him auction off all this other crap that I'm not interested in. I think that's a really good idea. I'm going to pass that along to the people at eBay. So if you have any suggestions on, what would help you or what would make the buying experience better as a buyer on eBay Live, drop it in the chat or email me, message me somewhere, and I can pass it along to the team because I'm building a list of, everything with the exception of that message last night is from a selling standpoint. But for you, the buyers, it makes a lot of sense to pass along that information as well. And I think that would be a simple, every auction house does that. Like, when you go to highbid.com, okay, these all end, the online auctions, these all end next Tuesday, lot 1, lot 2, lot 3. And I think it should be an easy fix. I would assume it's an easy fix, but maybe not. But I think that would help. And I would utilize it because I go straight down and it's like, okay, well, that's coming up auction number 117. If there's multiple people in the room, they're like, oh, I want run it now. I mean, if only one person's interested, I put some of the better stuff at the end to build that audience up. But maybe the right people are there earlier in the night. It doesn't doesn't necessarily mean the end is going to have the most people in the room at one time. It could be at half an hour in. So yeah, if you have any comments, questions, concerns, feedback, drop it in the chat, send me an email, message me somewhere, and I can write it down and put it in my list. Let's say hi to the chat. George is here. What's happening? Good evening to you. Todd is here. What's happening? Good morning. Gem City Card Show's in the house. Good morning. Philly Joe, what's up? Donald is here. Good morning. Good trash day to you, Peter. What's happening? Zach says, why were we never consulted around this floating start time? LRS used to be the gatekeeper in the 7 a.m. start. Now your start time is a moving target. It is. I'm sorry. It's hard to plan my bus route around. Do better. Yeah. That was one thing that annoys me when it's like we start at 7 a.m. and it's 7:17 and where is he? Where is he? I should probably get back on the 7 a.m. routine. It was easy to blame Ernie, but now it's on me. Like Ernie sleep for the most part. Ernie sleeps in. But now it's just me. It's like, it's 6. My alarm goes off at 6. It's like, I don't feel like getting up. And I lay in bed. I give Ernie some snuggles and some belly rubs and doom scroll. So it's completely on me. I could have been on at 7 a.m. this morning. Dan, what's happening? Good evening to you. Docking station. I think that could USB hub, docking station. I think either of those would work to what I was looking at. Andy says a Bluetooth mouse costs about $8 on Amazon. I guess I could do that. I mean, what if I buy the USB hub? I already have one. I shouldn't be putting any money into this. I have a USB hub somewhere. David, what's up? Good morning. Watched the last 4 innings of the Cubs-Dodgers last night. Cubs are putting out an exciting product right now. I'm pretty sure they scored 11 runs last night, so I'm pretty sure they still lead Major League Baseball in runs scored. 11-10 beating the Dodgers in extra innings last night. Ethan Roberts pitched again. I think Ethan has thrown in 8 out of the last 11 games. So Ethan Roberts is in Craig Counsell's circle of trust. He has climbed the trust tree with Craig Counsell. Let's look at stats. Team totals, runs. Cubs have scored 156 runs this year. The Yankees are second with 132. So the 156 runs, how many games have they played? 156. I think that's probably around 6 runs a game. 156 runs, and they've played 25 games. 156 divided by 25. 6.24 runs per game for the Chicago Cubs this year. 6.24. I think the Major League record, I looked this up. Now, is that sustainable? Probably not. Is it possible? Absolutely. Absolutely, that's possible, but it's not very probable. I think the record is around 8 runs. I think it's like 8 runs. I think it's a Yankees team. I think it's one of the Babe Ruth Yankees teams. I don't think it was the 27 Yankees. I think it was one of the 30s. I think it was in the early 30s. The Yankees set the record for most runs per game in a season. Gem City says splitter is my signature move when I wear tight pants. But Low Roller Scratcher is checked in. He missed the first bus. He's waiting for the second. Zach says a few seconds ago, Bo didn't know what it was called. Now he's violently correcting Max on the use of these items. Focus more on your start time and the impact it has on schedules. Do better. My bad. Gem City says cards sell at all hours. People are in different time zones, work different shifts. That's a good point. You think about just in the U.S. And I think my 7 p.m. start times are tough because it's still only 5 o'clock on the West Coast. I have a lot of West Coast buyers, so I think those early start times for the West Coast are bad. But then if you get to like 9, 10 o'clock, well, now it's 10, 11 o'clock on the East Coast. So you just have it. Where's that buying base at? And it's also, if you go from 7 to 10, you're going to probably span both coasts and you get a little bit of everybody. And same with in the morning where, I'm starting at 10. I started yesterday's stream at 10:30. That's 11:30 East. Some people might be on lunch break, or maybe they just want to buy cards during work, or maybe they work second or third shift. Not everybody works first shift. So it really does encompass it. You start at 10:30. Well, that's 8:30 on the West Coast. People don't go to work until 9 or whatever. Maybe I'm just going to buy some cards. So yeah, people are awake at all hours of the day. Obviously, you want to get those times where when are the most people going to be consuming that eBay Live content or whatever sales platform you're on. Brian Wolf, what's going on? Made my first purchase from you yesterday, and I thank you for that. I appreciate that. I should have known from the name. I should have known when I saw that name pop up. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's Brian. George says, I dangle my dongle for the doohickey. There you go. The dongle, which is actually I can still remember when I learned about a dongle for the first time. I was working in radio, and we had like a tech guy. He was kind of like a poor man's tech guy because we were small market, so we couldn't afford like a real IT guy. So we just had like one of the employees that knows about tech. Yeah, you're our IT. Curtis is our IT guy. And I remember him saying, he goes, I think the dongle is bad. I'm like, what the fuck is a dongle? I'm like, you just made that up, didn't you? You're not a real IT guy. Sure enough, we had like a real IT guy come in later, and he's like, yeah, you're right. It's the dongle. I'm like, is that a real word? You're like, yeah. The dongle. This is the dongle. Max says, Brian Bowe is out of touch with the blue collar folks since he got his card. That's true. Dan wants to know if George has plans for May 3rd through the 6th. Stuke's in the house. Good morning. George says, just going to be hanging around the local area. No desire to travel anywhere or spend money. We talked about this. No dates have been set. Blue collar, green collar, fill in the blank. Dog collar. I'm familiar with the dog collar crew. Cooter says, can't wait for the Monday Beanie Baby show announcement. Coming soon. Good morning. Red Light 34 is in the house. Shock collar. How was the live shows? They were good. Better than expected. I had like 67 unsold items last night at the end, and I still did better. I still did significantly better than I expected. And I lotted those up, and I think the lot sold for around $40. So we, even though 67 went unsold, we recouped and got some money for those cards. Dan says, anyone want to buy my Karate Kid and Rambo figures? There you go. A little tradio this morning. Will your announcement include updates on parking? Yes. Will parking finally be free at the Madison Card Show? He's moving to the Holiday Inn with Chingy. No more Sheraton. Looking for more life advice, L1C says, how many days can I wear a pair of jeans before they are considered dirty? I have the same question on hoodies. This is a great question, and I am the perfect person to answer that. I have a pair of jeans on that I think I've been wearing since Saturday. So that's Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. This is day number 5. I probably won't put on a new pair of jeans until I'll probably break out a fresh pair of jeans Saturday for the Madison Card Show. Since I'm going to be around the public, I'll put on a fresh, clean pair of jeans. I think a week is fair. Same with hoodies. And I think you can stretch it as long as you don't drop, spaghetti sauce on your hoodie. I think you can go 2 weeks on hoodies. 2 weeks on hoodies, 1 week, or maybe a little bit more. You can stretch out those jeans a little bit more than a week. Cody's here. What's happening? Good morning. Orlando's in the house. Good morning. Orlando and John exchange pleasantries. Dan says, give Natalie a kiss for me. Oh, Zach says, a lot of it depends on what you are doing in the jeans and hoodie. Are you lounging or hiking? That's a good point. That's a good point. You don't want to wear the same pair of jeans for a week if you are playing basketball in jeans, but you shouldn't play basketball in jeans. But if you're running, if you're sweating, you shouldn't wear jeans for a week. But if you're selling baseball cards out of your basement, and the only activity you do is maybe take Ernie for a walk and run to the post office, not literally run, but just drive to the post office, I think a week is okay. Zach says jeans, you can't get quite a few. You can get quite a few wears depending on activity. Hoodies can get stinky after a bus ride. Yeah, or if you go into like a Greasy Spoon restaurant, you're going to smell like food. You might want to change after that. Sports card ripping teacher, what's happening? Pricing strategies. Go Cubs, go. Holmes in the house. Good morning. Gem City says 17%. Your Michael Jordan jersey percent short, but I feel like you're going to end at second coming of Jordan jersey 45%. Quickest way to get the growth needed is repacks and shill bidding, or sell that trout. Yeah, that would bump my sales a little bit. Rich says you are good on eBay Live. Thank you. John won't follow me. I do not worship false idols. Rich says sometimes less is more. Meaning, if you have a smaller amount of items, you can spend the 15 seconds on each one. But if they're not selling, and this is my thought process, if items aren't selling, if I put up modern basketball and they're not selling, like I don't want to spend a whole 15 seconds on items that don't sell. So let's go through and get more items out. Gem City says, I learned to bid $1 on all of Bo's auctions because I'll have a kick-ass collection after I do that. There you go. Rich says Cade Cunningham should have sold. He's the best player on a developing team. Gem City says Cade is unfortunately a bad market. NBA playoffs are a unique time. Cunningham had a great game. Timing is difficult. Kobe, better than LeBron. Ooh, I don't agree with that. I do not agree with that. I'm Team LeBron on that argument. Gem City says modern basketball is an enigma. It's hot if you have RPAs and case hits. Yeah, it's the high-end market in basketball. Or the GOATs. Zach says, will the update on Madison Card Show include anything tied to Dial soap bars? Not at this time. But maybe. I swear I've heard a story about a dealer doing that. Hilarious. Holmes says, very happy to hear eBay Live is working out for you. It's nice to see it. It's been fun. Thank you. Gem City says, free soap at the Madison Card Show brought to you by Uncle Rich. Dan says, basketball cards need another pandemic. Bird flew in the queue. LeBron doesn't make my top 5 NBA players. His cards belong at the bottom of a bird cage. Ooh, I disagree. Gem City says a larger bid button would be good, and the ability to swipe. Okay, let me write this down. I'm going to write this down. I need a better pen. These pens suck. All right. Hopefully this pen's better. All right. eBay Live. All right. Bigger bid button. That might be a little more difficult on the back end. I don't know. But what the hell do I know? Ability to swipe between streams. These are advanced, Brian. I like it. Ability to swipe between streams. Brian says moving from auction to auction isn't easy. Okay. I'll add that note. I don't want you to move away from my auction. How about the ability to move, the ability to swipe between streams with the exception of my account? You can't swipe from my account, but the others, sure. Gem City says your list is at the bottom of most cages. My list, yeah, this list will be. They're like, we don't care about these. Fix the bid increments. Even having would be a huge improvement. Maybe not, as impulse buyers are going to spend no matter what. eBay smarter than me. I'll I'll pass that along because I know there's been a lot of complaints on bid increments. I honestly don't think that's going to change. I think eBay wants these bid increments to be what they are, but I'll pass it along. Porter, good morning. Brian says some people can fit themselves and all their merch in the phone frame. You couldn't keep a card from being chopped off. I know. Because I zoom. Here's my problem. I zoom in too much, and then when I do the lot, I forgot to zoom out. So yes. I'm still working on it. I'm still in beta 2. F it. Go for the 7:30 start. Get a custom card holder that says 99centcards.com. Yeah, I should probably get a custom card holder. Zach says, John Bingo, it's built to create a sensation on hitting the bid button like a skill game. Sends the same sensation to the bidder as slots. They know what they are doing. Kyle Tucker is, in fact, a good player. Hey, he might be top 10. I've heard somebody say that before. Dan says, how's their team ERA giving up double-digit runs? Well, that's a good point. Let's see what the team ERA is. Chicago Cubs. Home, we want stats, totals, pitching, ERA. The New York Mets have the best ERA in Major League Baseball at 2.37. Hey, the Cubs aren't too bad. They're in the bottom half, but they're 19th out of 30. The Cubs' ERA is 4.22. So they're scoring 6.24 runs and giving up 4.22. So they're winning by an average of 2 runs per game. Rich says he pitched reasonably well for his inning last night. Yeah, he did. I think Tuck. I can't remember. What it was his line because I was on eBay Live, so I wasn't. I saw the. I think a run came in, but Kyle Tucker made an amazing play that probably prevented 2, maybe 3 runs scoring on that play. Here's the box score. So Ethan's line last night: 1 inning, 1 strikeout, 1 hit, no runs. So Ethan has a 1.42 ERA. That's pretty good for that's really good for a reliever. Because the other reliever, here's the ERA by the relievers. Brad Keller, his season ERA is 6.75. Porter Hodge is 6.17. Gavin Hollowell pitched 2 innings last night, but it's his first appearance in Ethan's 1.42. He might have the best ERA in the bullpen. Let's see. Where we at? John says, Kyle Tucker is a modern-day Dave Winfield. He'll be on the beach by July. Disagree. That might be a worse take than your LeBron take. Porter says, my son pulled a Dansby Swanson bat relic out of his Topps Easter egg on Sunday. Why hast thou forsaken me? Hey, speaking of Cubs-Cardinals rivalries, I saw Wilson Contreras apologized for his comments. He's also not playing very well, but I do really like Wilson Contreras. Was always a great person. He was always really good to the fans. He was my second favorite player behind Javi Baez on those teams. So I'm glad he walked back those comments. Because it sucks to see him in a Cardinals unit. Sorry, Porter, but it sucks to see one of your former favorite players in a Cardinals uniform. So I'm glad that he apologized. And I get it. Like he's a very emotional guy. He wears his emotions on his sleeve, and I think he was really upset because he loved the Cubs organization. He was signed as like a 16-year-old, came all the way through. He was on the 2016 World Series, and they didn't want him. So he went to St. Louis. Rich says, Yankees team sometime in the 30s from my memory. Yeah, I think it was 30, 32, maybe 35. It might have been the called shot. That was 32, the called shot. It might have been that season. Rich says, you could win some bar bets with this. Rich says, since 1960, which team has scored the most runs in a season? Oh, man, that's tough. Gosh, since 1960. Which team since 1960, which team collectively from 1960 to now or in a season? Yeah, I think Boston has the Boston Bean Eaters have the all-time record, but the modern day, the quote modern day record is the Yankees from the 30s. But yes, all-time is the Boston Bean Eaters. The Mariners. The 1999 Indians with 1,009 runs scored, the last team over 1,000. Wow. There you go. Rich was a bat boy. Can you go eBay live during my next red eye? Maybe. Let's see. Rich says, and in the 20th century, it's the Yankees, but several teams before 1900. Yeah, I think that's what I was going by. The modern day record, which I think was like, I think whatever I read, they're like the all-time record was the Boston Bean Eaters, whatever year that was. But the modern day, which most people say is like after 1900 or whatever, was the Yankees. Bargain Boxer says, Paul Skeens is 2-2. Should I not have spent $1.1 million on his Topps debut patch? LOL, Skeens will ruin the pitcher's market, already ruined by Strasburg. Using the word dongle often is a hack for keeping HR at bay. Addiction doesn't sleep. Hashtag the hobby. Porter says, I thought your dongle story was going to take a Kanye cousin twist. Max says, that's fucking nasty. Dial Soap live read insert. Dan says he won't put on a new pair of jeans until his wife says something. I'm a week with jeans. Easy. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Max says, I'll pay for the Madison Card Show Dial Soap sponsorship after hearing that. Bargain Boxer, he's on 2 weeks on jeans, 1 week on hoodies. Rich says, oh, I forgot to say good morning. Sorry about the bad manners. There's a formula based on body fat percentage and corn sweat. Yeah, I don't sweat selling baseball cards in my basement. Now, if I'm going to go out and now I will say jeans that I wear at the Madison Card Show, because I'm running around and putting 20,000 steps on in a day, I'm not putting 20,000 steps on in a fucking week doing this. But at the Madison Card Show, I do. So those jeans aren't going to last a week. Those jeans are probably just going to last the weekend. Like I'll wear them Saturday and Sunday, and they're going to the wash. We're going to wash them. George says, buy 7 pairs of jeans and rotate through with a different pair each day. You won't have to wash them for at least 6 months out of the year. That's a life hack if I haven't heard one. Well, that's a life hack right there. Pretty sure Andre Agassi wore jorts while competing at a high level. Well, the 80s were different. The 80s were different. Dad Dude from Duryea says, what's up? Wearing clothes for a week plus says a lot about the odor issue at the card shows. Timothy, what's going on? Levi's website recommends wash every 10 wears. I like it. See how it was meant to be. Andy says, last night on eBay Live, camera was a little too close. All right, well, that's something I can fix very easily. Rich says, and back in the day, we went in college and a couple of times to OTB. If you did that, you will never, ever forget the cheap cigar smell on your clothes. Some cards weren't fully on screen. If that's the case, drop that in the chat during the stream because I can fix that like right now. So if there's an issue with audio or video, let me know in the live stream because that can be fixed. All I have to do is press a button and get that fixed or move it around. That's a quick fix during the stream. Dan says, when I played ball in Seattle, we had some Southern guy wearing jeans at the tryout who threw smoke. We drafted him. He played well until he broke his arm, a la Dave Dravecki. Oof. Not good. Bargain Boxers team Kobe. Rich says, and JK should be a Kobe guy, somewhat local to him, and his dad was a Philadelphia 76er back in the day. Jelly Bean, Joe Bryant. Yeah, Kobe from Lower Merion. Come on, John Keating. Oh, wait, John Keating was Kobe over LeBron. That's why. That's why. I had them reversed. John, if you really believe that about LeBron, I'll gladly accept any and all of them to donate. There you go. And my biggest complaint, invite Ernie in for the visit. Billy Joe says, I saw some bid sales were 304, others were at 350. There was like a 475, there was like a 550. I don't know how that works. I don't know. I just accept it and move on. Rail fan, what's up? Good morning. Would not telling that you will be selling all unsold cards at the end help sell more as shown, then do all unsold at the end as an extra? That's something we talked about earlier this week when it was Brian. I think Brian gave me that idea. And we kind of hashed it out. The thing is, if you want, basically the lot's probably going to sell for 50 cents a card. If you really want a card, are you going to want 60 other cards? Like, if you really want a card, you're not going to just wait till the end. So I think the strategy of promoting it throughout the stream kind of builds anticipation. And a lot of people don't want volume. Like, a lot of people just want, okay, I want Cade Cunningham rookies. Okay, you've got some, nobody else is bidding on them. I'll take the Cade Cunningham rookies for 99 cents as opposed to wait at the end. And in all honesty, the better cards that are in the lot at the end, the higher the price will go. And yesterday morning, I did an unsold lot. The unsold lot outsold what if you put one single bid in. So I had 18 unsold yesterday morning, and the lot sold for 20. Now, last night it sold for less than, I think there were 67 total cards in the unsold lot, sold for 40 or, 40 something. So it sold for, between 50 and 75 cents per card. But I think that was brought up, and it's a fair point, but my counter is a lot of people don't want unsold stuff. And it's like, well, most of that's junk. I don't want to pay $40 for all those cards that I don't want. I'll just put a bid in for 99 cents and get this card for 99 cents. So that's my counter. Mike says, it is Low Roller Scratcher. I just checked one location, made $60 since I found 2 bonus. My job isn't done yet. So I made $60 an hour just checking the machine on skill games. It's a great job if you can get it. Rich says he allowed 2 inherited runs to score but pitched well. But doesn't affect the old ERA. The same location, I always found free bonus since my competitor doesn't come in the morning. Mike's back at the bus stop. Gem City said Wilson found out. St. Louis is fill in the blank. Unicorn Cupcake says you should unplug the machine when your competitor comes around. Oh, man. Porter says Wilson will likely be my next Cardinals jersey purchase. Very nice. Mike says, Unicorn, I go different locations since I use the bus as my advantage. Since my competitor rides a bike, I am investing $4.50 bus pass daily to go to different locations. Ha-ha. Low Roller Scratcher is playing chess. His competitor on the bike, it's probably not even an e-bike. He's only playing checkers. Michael Redicky, good morning. Rich Klein says the Bean Eaters also had the first guy to hit 4 homers in a game, Robert Lowe. Mike says he spent $27 bus pass daily. The last 3 days, I always find free bonus. Oh, sir. So if you've got $27, is it 27 a day? So you're $60 minus 27. You didn't make $60 an hour because you've got to include the cost of your bus pass. Mikey is here. I'm here. I'm finally on my break. Thank you for the deals. Mikey got some steals last night. Can I sponsor the Madison Card Show or the eBay live stream? Well, hell yeah. Of course you can. Mike says, I spent $27 a week on the bus pass. Oh, $4.50 daily. Okay. So you made $55.50 an hour. He takes Mondays off from the skill games. And now Bitcoin is going up. It's coming up roses for Low Roller Scratcher. Orlando says 111 years ago today, the first game was played at Wrigley Field in Chicago. Weigman Park back then. Weigman Park. A good friend of mine has the Chicago Tribune from that day, from the day or the day after, with actual, like, has photos. It's really cool piece. Gem City Card Show says, where was Uncle Rich for the Shannon Elizabeth card? Yeah. What'd she go? She went for like $3, I think, Shannon Elizabeth. George says, your competition who is riding the bike will be in better health and live longer than you. Oh, is he playing chess? He's playing 4D chess. He has the long-term plan on skill games. Damn it. George, bringing the truth. Holmes says, correct on seeing favorite player in a rival uniform. Won't be able to stomach seeing Ellie in Dodger blue. Gem City says, where's Victor? I bought a Wemby Hoops base rookie from Bo for 99 cents last night. Many in the hobby say Prism is his true rookie, but I believe based on your standards, Hoops is his true rookie. Unicorn Cupcake wants Low Roller Scratcher's life. Mikey says, are you happy with the Leslie, Magic, and Kobe SI prices? I am hoping they grade well. Yeah, the Magic actually went for higher than I thought it would. The Lisa Leslie, I honestly had no idea, because it's Lisa Leslie. It's kind of a rare, they don't come up too often. I was happy with the price. The Kobe SI, I thought, especially after one of the NBA Hoops cards went for like $20. I thought the SI would go for more, but I'm not unhappy with it. I was happy with all of those prices. And you should be too. I didn't know the comps. If I knew the comps, maybe I'd be singing a different tune beforehand. But my expectations going in, like, yeah, I'm happy with these prices. Zach says, no, you don't. Gem City says, Bo, donate your neglected e-bike to Mike for days he misses the bus. Hey, I'm going to get that e-bike out. When I get some spare time, whatever the hell that is, I'm going to get that e-bike out. I've been saying for 2 years. Johnny M in the house. Good morning. Does LRS realize Bitcoin is at almost 94,000? See, John Keating doesn't mention when it goes up. He only mentions when it goes down. Mikey says, I guess my other card purchases balance out since I overpaid for some of them, but I'm learning on controlling what I want to go after instead of just bidding on everything. I'll message you about sponsoring. Sounds good. Mike says, George, I walk a lot. Go to different locations. I have to walk a few miles per day, go to different locations for skill games. Johnny says, if you bought Bitcoin yesterday morning and sold it this morning, you would be up $10,000. I know there's guys in here that like to track that. A whole Bitcoin. Mikey thinks Bitcoin is a sham. Low Roller says, Bitcoin was 74,000 yesterday, a few weeks ago, since everything was crashing. If you buy Bitcoin at 74K, you were up 15% today. Unicorn Cupcake wants to know if Low Roller has bought any Bitcoin lately. Mikey says it's not backed by anything. It's backed by Low Roller Scratcher. So let's talk a little pricing strategy. We kind of talked about, Mikey mentioned some of the items that he bid on and won last night. And that's kind of a struggle. With not only pricing when you're pricing static, buy it now, but also auctions. Do I send this to auction? Do I put this on a live auction? And that's a struggle that I have. I have a box of slabs that I sourced a couple of weeks ago at a card show. I'm not willing to put those at live auction just yet because I have some money invested in those. And I don't want them to go for $5 when I paid 20 or, whatever the price is. I want to build a bigger audience. I want, once eBay puts some more marketing into trading card singles and we get a little more highlights, then I will unleash some of the better cards. But I'm still releasing some good cards. They're going for good prices. And some of the cards that I would expect to sell for not much go for higher prices. The struggle I have is, okay, the Magic Johnson. I think the last sold on that was like $45. Mikey, what'd you get? Maybe it did go for less than I thought. What did it go for? Like 28, 30? Here's the thing. So it was a Magic Johnson Metal Force insert, and last sold was like $45, but another one sold at auction for like 20, I think 25. So I'd probably, because I have the 25%, and this is my pricing strategy, you know, this can be different for however you set up your eBay store, but I have 25% off when you buy 7 or more items at 99centcards.com. So in cards like that, I tend to price a little higher than what I normally would, you know, some of the lower end cards. So that Magic Johnson, if I were listing it as a buy it now, my strategy would be $50. Okay, it sold for $45, and I think that might have been an auction sale. It sold for $45 shipped. I'm going to put mine at $50. And somebody may come in and buy 6 cards and like, well, they're getting it for, what would that be? $37.50. But they're also buying 6 other cards. And, you know, depending on what those other cards are, I'm still selling 7 cards total, maybe more. So I'm comfortable with a $50 listing, even if it sells for 25% off. If it sits, now taking offers into account. Okay, I've got it for $50. There was a $45 sale, but there was a $25 sale a month ago. Somebody comes in, they're like, well, there's a $25 sale, there's a $45 sale, I'll do $35. Am I going to take it? If it's an hour after I list it, I'm not going to take it. But that may be my only offer that comes in. And now we're 2 weeks out and it's still sitting in my eBay store for $50. It's like, well, maybe I should have taken that $35. How long is it going to sit for $50 in my eBay store? Even with that 25% off coupon, it could go unsold for months, weeks, days, maybe hours. Maybe it sells fast. Or on live selling, it's a risk. It might only go for $10, but it might go for $60. You never know. And I think it ended up going for $30. So I weigh that. It's like, okay, well, it sold for $30. I'm happy with that. I think it was in a box from the Goodwill pallet. I'm happy with that. Could I have got $50? I don't think so. Because you look at the last 2 comps, 45 and 25. This is just one example. These are the things that are going through my head when I'm pricing things out. I like the instant sale. The instant sale is worth sometimes selling for less than comps. But often, there's a lot of cards that sold last night that I would have put for less than what they sold for. There was a card that sold for like $8 or $9 that I would have probably put in my store for $1.75. So there's a balance. And so far through 4 eBay live sales, I'm extremely happy with the results. And here's why. I'm just starting. And if I can be happy with my results in 4 auctions within the first week, eBay hasn't even highlighted me as a new seller. They haven't even started the significant days. They haven't marketed anything for it yet. This is just organic grassroots early sales, and I can build on that. I think yesterday Cooter mentioned, like, what if eBay Live gets saturated with sellers? It's not going to get saturated with sellers like Whatnot, but they're going to be adding more sellers to eBay Live's platform. Absolutely. I think early on, right now, it's going to be selective, and they may branch out and add more, and who knows? At this time, you know, maybe it does get saturated in a year or 2, or maybe even in 6 months. But the important part for me is that I'm in early. You know, there's how many, maybe a dozen card sellers or sports card sellers on eBay Live right now that are active, like on a daily basis or every other day. Crux on there, ComC, Greeny, PCB. There might be more than a dozen, might be 20, but I don't know if there's much more than 20 that are doing singles sales in sports cards. And to capture that early, it's like early on the market. and just keep building. And this is something that last night going in to the NBA, the hoops auctions, I had a set price in mind. And I did better than that set price, which is surprising because I had 67 unsold cards. It did sell in a lot for a little under 99 cents per card, but I still did better overall, significantly better than my expectations. I think with an audience, I think last night's auction, with what I've witnessed on other auctions, I don't think you see, if I had a bigger audience, which I will have in the next, next week, I'll have a bigger audience. The week after, it's going to keep building. But I think last night, I could have made, with an established audience, I could have made twice what I did. I think I could have made twice what I did. I think a lot of stuff that was selling for 99 cents and $1.04, I think would have sold for $3-4. I think some of the stuff that sold would have sold for more. So that's the exciting part for me, is this is still so early in the game, and I'm happy with the early results. And I also know going in, I didn't have super high expectations because I'm just getting started. Now, I do have a following here on YouTube. I have a following on Twitter. I have a following on eBay, and I can get things promoted out, and I have that built-in audience. It's not like I'm just Joe Smith from down the street. I'm going on eBay Live and I'm just getting started. I don't have an audience. There's a somewhat of a built-in audience already, but that's only going to grow and get bigger. So I'm excited about the future. And I'm happy because each auction has exceeded my expectations overall. Now, have there been cards that have sold in each of the 4 auctions I've ran that sold for less? And it's like, there was a Gershon Yabusele RPA, or not RPA, it's a rookie auto, number to 25. It sold for $1.04 last night. I thought it would sell for at least $10. So there's some, on an individual standpoint, but then on the flip side, there's a Kobe that sells for 20 that I'm like, I'd be happy with 5. And there's other cards that, go, it's like, oh, okay. That was Michael Jordan sells for like 15. It's like, oh, okay. That was a good sale. So, and there's going to be a lot of those. There's going to be a lot of, disappointments, and there's going to be a lot of, wow, I'm surprised it went that high. And last night, the highs outpaced the lows. And I think as that audience grows, there's the lows are going to be the base. The floor is going to be higher. The floor is going to be higher, and hopefully the ceiling gets higher too. So I'm excited about the future of eBay Live and for my business. Andy says, I missed a Shannon Elizabeth card. Her scene in American Pie was a seminal moment for many in our generation. Absolutely. Absolutely. The Shannon Elizabeth rookie card. It actually says rookie card on it from Topps. I think 2005. There's also a Jenny McCarthy. I think Jay-Z is in that set as well. The Jay-Z sells for like $50. The Jenny McCarthy and Shannon, they just go for a couple bucks. Unicorn Cupcake says, made by a guy who no one knows. Seems legit. Mike Smith chimes in. Johnny, don't forget capital short-term taxes if you sold your Bitcoin. If you hold more than 1 year, you pay less taxes in crypto. Mike is collecting free crypto in Faucet. Exactly. I got it for $24.76. Okay, so that it did. The Magic Johnson did go for a little less. I thought it hit 30, but I'm still happy with it, and you're happy with it. We all leave happy. I like it. Zach says, what occurs that makes LRS determine if he is Clark Kent, Mike Smith on here, versus Superman, Low Roller Scratcher? I want to know the driving force. Hey, we're trying to get him to 1,000 subscribers so he can live stream while he's playing skill games. When we last checked, he was at 625. Low Roller Scratcher. Where you at? Hey, we're at 629 for Low Roller Scratcher. He's at 629. Make sure to give him a follow, a sub. Make sure to give Low Roller Scratcher a sub. He hasn't put any video. Oh, wait, did he? No. That's an old video. What's his latest videos? Low Roller, we're demanding new videos. It's been 2 weeks, man. Bad news, Mega Millions tickets going up to $5. That was his last video. Make sure to subscribe to Low Roller Scratcher. He promises us 2 to 3 new Scratcher ticket videos every week, but he doesn't deliver. It's been 2 weeks since he's delivered one video. But subscribe anyway, because maybe if he gets to 1,000 and he starts monetizing and making all that coin from YouTube, he'll put some more content out. And the more content he puts out, the more money he makes. So let's get those subscribers up. Let's make Low Roller some money and subscribe to his channel. Mike Smith says USA dollars doesn't back by anything at all since they got out of gold standards in 1970. Mike, you got the Leslie for $756 and the Kobe for $864. Yeah, and the Leslie, I didn't know where it would sell. I'm happy with that. I'm happy with $756. Kobe SI, if I was listing it as a buy it now, that's probably around the range I would have listed it as a buy it now, maybe $750, maybe $10. The Leslie I probably would have listed for $10. Not looking at comps. So those are, a little lower than my expectations, but it all balanced out. Yet everyone accepts U.S. currency. Cash is king. Cash is king. Mike says, I use some skill games profit to buy sports cards, then sports cards at Card Show. Outliers, says Zach. In my head, I'm wanting to grade all 3 and risk it to try to make more money, but also risk involved. Absolutely. I think the Kobe's in really nice condition. I don't know. I'm no grader. But I think and I don't know what the prices are on grades. It's not like it's going to get a 9. But I don't know what that card is in a 6 or a 7, but might be worth it. Mike Smith says grading is a huge scam. People want to pay slabs with PSA 10. Better off putting your card in a one-touch. Unicorn laughs. Mike, skill games may be the biggest scam in Earth's existence. Delete your account. Zach, I am making a living looking for free bonus on skill games since people don't check their puzzle. I like how skill games has taken on a new definition in this chat. Mike wants to know where Zach lives. Give him an address, Zach. Proud of you. People making a living tied to graded cards doesn't mean that skill games and gambling is the biggest scam in the world. Over time, house never loses. Mikey says, when I was younger, I put every card in a one-touch, and then I took them out and put them in top loaders. Now I have a drawer full of different one-touches. There he is, the Victor, the rookie card specialist. Good morning. All right, here's the answer on Wemby. There is a true rookie of Wemby in both products. My argument is that Hoops is the flagship product, not Prism. Hoops is longest standing product and is the first official product released. There you go. Brian gets his answer. Mike says, if you have skill games in your state, check Next Puzzle or Prize Viewer. You can find free bonus, and it tells you how much money you won Next Puzzle. Zach's going to pass. Unicorn's going to try it. Mike's got older skill games. More money equals more skill games equals more money. Search skill games. There you go. Low Roller Scratcher. Yeah. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button. All that good stuff. Mike says, I like Virginia. Most skill games still banned. If skill games legal, I have so many 7-Eleven locations to check the machine. All right. That's going to wrap things up for today. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Visit my eBay store, 99centcards.com. Over in the Buy It Now section, buy 7 or more cards at regular price. You'll save 25% off at checkout, 99centcards.com. More eBay live streams coming up this week. Not sure if I'm going to have any more during the week this week. There will not be any primetime eBay live streams until Sunday. So we're going to do the Sunday. The Sunday night singles on eBay Live. This Sunday night, I'll go live at 7 p.m. Central Time. Sunday night. I may pop a live stream. We'll see how much shipping and how much other stuff I get accomplished today. But what is today? Today's only Wednesday, so maybe Thursday. So maybe, depending on how much I get done today, maybe I'll do a morning stream tomorrow. But I won't know until this afternoon. So hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. hit up 99centcards.com. We'll see you tomorrow morning.